On a warm October afternoon, high school football and WNY Athletics brings us to St. Francis High School, where the Archbishop Knights visit the St. Francis Red Raiders here in Athol Springs. St. Francis coming off their first loss of the season at Cathedral Prep 20-20, look to get back in the win column this week. Hoban 4-2 defending state champions. They also won last week, and they won 37-16 at Cleveland Central Catholic. Alongside me is the great Tom Prince. Tom, it's great to be with you today.
Absolutely. I'm excited. This is going to be a great one, right? One of the top teams in Western New York will face one of the top teams in Ohio today. We're going to see a great one. I'll tell you right away, I say this on multiple broadcasts that I do. When you see a team that's coming out that's got this type of excitement around them, I'm going to go right to the line play is where I'm going to look at. Who's going to win the battle of the trenches, because that is going to be the difference in this game. Can St. Francis be able to run the ball? Can they give their quarterback Otremba time? Those are the things we're going to look at. We're going to know very quickly.
And Otremba coming off a great game last week. He kind of got thrown into the Wolves last year as Drake Ritz left the program and went down to Florida. St. Francis went 2-3. But Coach Smith talked about it was a learning curve, and he's going to be better off for it, having a rough start last year, as it wasn't expected him for to be out there.
100% agree. And I tell you, you saw Otremba get better and better every game last year. You knew he was ready to now take the next step. We're going to see it. There's no doubt. We've already seen him come up with some big games. He's got the running attack to go with him. He's got a great line. There's a lot of positive things right here for St. Francis. We're going to see this one play out. And I'm going to tell you, the reason, too, that they also got this huge competition they've been bringing in week after week, they're getting ready for what's going to be the big matchup in about, I think it's week 8, when St. Francis goes head-to-head with Canisius. These games all get you ready for that matchup.
Yeah, and that's what Coach Smith has always done. Even for when I was here, they schedule these games as a test to see where they match up, to see what they can do against your Canisius and Joes. 3 minutes before kickoff, let's get to the 3 keys of the game. What's the key for the Knights tonight?
It's the same thing. I'd say for both, right? Can you establish the run? Can you get the time you need for your quarterback to get some run, to get the necessary throws that need to get off? But it's all going to happen right away on the line. Do those holes open up? Do they get the time? Those are all the big things that you're going to need to know right away.
St. Francis has a strong running game. They're led by Ricardo Kidd. He has had multiple games over 130 yards. What makes him so special?
I mean, first of all, speed, size, everything, right? All comes into play with him. And no doubt, this is a kid that we've seen. He's been top performances week after week here in Western New York. We see he's one of the top running backs, and he's doing it behind a great line. We're going to talk about some of the linemen right here for both teams. I mean, there is size out here. There really is a lot of size when it comes to this. But we're going to take a quick break as they're going to go to the national anthem here.
For the singing of God Bless America by Red Raider assistant coach Frank Rossi.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, wide and foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
As we get closer to kickoff here for this 1 o'clock afternoon, it's a beautiful day on the shores of Lake Erie. Perfect elite fall weather in the 70s. Not much sun, or no, not much wind, I should say. Tom, this is great weather today for football.
This is a gorgeous day, period, for any type of thing that you want to do. But we were talking about Kidd right before the end there.
Yes, of course.
Kidd goes for 184 yards and a touchdown versus Cathedral Prep last week, which is another top program outside of Western New York that we know. You can see he's going to be ready to run the ball. The question is, will he get the time? Will he be able to get some of the holes that are necessary to have the runs that he needs for a St. Francis victory?
So St. Francis here, 3-1 on the year, losing last week. But it was a game that was so weird because they lost by 8 points. They outgained Cathedral Prep, almost doubled. They had over 500 yards of offense. They had more plays than them, but it was just a special teams mistake cost them that game. But they showed that they could be ready to face a tough opponent here in the Knights.
Listen, we've seen it all season so far in Western New York. Special teams will be the difference of you winning or losing a game. And it's because we see teams, the 2-point conversion's not happening. We see great kickoff returns giving you great field position. It's always something. If you underestimate the special teams at all, trust me, it'll come up and bite you. It'll be the difference of a win or a loss in the game. And we've seen it constantly. Losses come because of a special teams play.
So they are doing the coin toss on the field right now as we get a little bit closer here. And we talked about Steve Ochemba Jr., his dad is one of the coaches on the team. He had a great week last week, going 17-32 and putting the St. Francis Red Raiders in a good opportunity to win. So this would be a tough matchup here for the junior as the Red Raiders and the Knights just about ready to kick off. I'm so excited for this game. I actually woke up like at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I'm ready to go. And I'm not even playing.
You know it's a big game when you got the photographer Harry Skull here from the Buffalo News. You know it's a big one right now as he's out taking some photos out there on the field. I see Conley Cup member committees. For those of you in Ohio that could be watching this, the Conley Cup is our Player of the Year award where they'll be at every game as they can get to, and there'll be nominees each week. It'll be pared down once the sectional championships come for the state side of it, right? The Section 6 side of it. Once those championships happen, they will pare down to a top 10 right there, and then those 10 will be invited to a banquet, and then at that banquet, they will award the Player of the Year in Western New York. And there's no doubt we've got some candidates right here at St. Francis that should be up for that award.
So Charlie Durkin is going to kick off for the Knights. St. Francis will start this game and receive. They will be going from left to right as we are just about ready for kickoff. It's going to be a great game between two great high school football teams. Durkin's kick is going to fall around the 10, actually 5, returned, finding some space at the 10, the 15, the 20, finally taken down. A good run by Dylan Walker. And St. Francis is going to have their first possession of the game with Steve Ochemba Jr., the Week 2 Conley Cup nominee.
Number 5.
On the tackle there was number 7, Devontae Baskerville, the 5'11", 190-pound senior right there for Archbishop Hoban.
And we're going to be talking about Hoban's size. I mean, not only their roster, but just they're mammoth out there, right? They're big kids, and they bring that, Ohio speed. So first down for St. Francis. Steve Ochemba Jr. in the shotgun formation. Hands it off up the middle. And that one's going to be a run to Ricardo Kidd. And he's going to get past the 20.
Ricardo Kidd with the carry.
We expect to see a lot of him today. He averages probably over 20 carries a game, you'd have to think, right?
It was 28 last week,
28
so that gives you an example. Yeah. So no doubt that we're going to see, you should see heavy doses of him. And again, if you can get 4 or 5 yards a clip, you're going to be in good shape.
Trevor going to roll out right, looking to pass. He's get pressure, gets rid of it, and thrown away. Great pressure there by Hoban Knights, and that was by number 6, Jermaine James on the pressure, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and 6. So the first third down of the game for St. Francis. Let's see how they respond.
And it looks like that was intended for Logan Rieska, who is the junior wide receiver, another big player on this team. Look for that will be one of his primary targets out there that we're going to be talking about today for Ochemba.
Rieska went 6 of 81 last week. He's had strong games every time out there. Here's a handoff to the left side, finding some space. He's going to get a first down and pull down. Nice run by Kamal Clark.
No, he broke it. It actually broke it for more yards.
He didn't step out of bounds. I apologize. It's a little tight on that side, but a nice run by Clark on a jet sweep.
They always say it, and I always talk to, any of the younger players that are out there going, you want to watch that. Never give up on a play. Keep those legs going, doing everything necessary to get those extra yards.
So 1st and 10 at the 46 after the Rice run. And this one's going to go up the middle, finding some space, and just keeps his feet moving. And it looks like about an 8 to 9 yard gain as Kidd has his best run of the game.
Tell you saw the strength right there by number 9, Jordan Sewell, right? The 6'2", 265-pound sophomore, right? How big he is.
Yeah, that's a big boy for a
But
sophomore.
he actually takes him down by the jersey he had and got him down.
The Tremba to pass. It's caught and dropped in and out of the hands of Clark. That's going to bring down 3rd down, and if he would have caught that time, he had some space to move.
He really did. And at least minimum, it was a first down. Then the question would be what the extra yardage would have been after that. And you almost wonder if those eyes lit up because he saw a lane right there.
So about 3rd and 1. Tremba going to hand it off. And great job by the defensive line. They were all over Ricardo Kidd that time. So St. Francis is going to lose a couple yards. But Tom, it looked like number 99, Grant Thompson, on the tackle.
Yeah, and also 52 was big on that tackle right there also. Jason Martin III, the 6'1", 290 defensive tackle, the junior.
So St. Francis does move the ball about 35, 40 yards, but they're going to stall out of midfield. And on the punt is Luke Nowak. And the Knights have 2 back there. Nowak's kick from the 40. It's going to bounce around the 30, inside the 25, and are down at about the 22. So the Knights are going to have their first possession at the 22-yard line with 9:38 remaining and a 0-0 score.
You got to be careful. That was very close to hitting that Hoban player right there. Did you see that? He got out of the way just in time. That hits him. That falls right into St. Franny's hands right there, and it could have been talking about a turnover. It was that close to hitting him, but you saw, got out of the way, did a good job of getting out of the way, and now we're going to get a first chance to see this Hoban offense.
Yeah, Javon Crable, the 6'3 junior, taking over for the 4-year starter who graduated. He's got some playmakers around him as they're coming off that state championship last year. So they're going to have the ball around the 22-yard line. Crable's to be back there in the backfield with number 32, Lamar Spearling. He's an outstanding running back himself. Spearling's going to get the carry, and he's not going anywhere. He's wrapped up by a couple of Red Raiders, about 3 players in there, Tom, in the tackle. You know, one of them I noticed was Christian Garner, so a good first play for the Red Raiders defense.
Garner only a sophomore, 6'3", 260. So you can see we're talking about big guys on both sides of the line here. This isn't just one way of big guys, both teams showing size right now.
It looks like they've lost a yard. Now in the backfield is Caleb Jones. Crable back to pass. He's looking, he's rolling right, trying to find some space. Throws downfield and just overshoots his man. He was open, Tyson Grimm. But it's going to be 3rd and long. See if the Red Raiders can get off the field and force a 3-and-out against a really good offensive team here.
Yeah, and that would just show right there, right, that you're now we're seeing it early on, right? We said which lines we're really going to come here and we're going to own the line of scrimmage. You can see right now both lines doing a fantastic job, both offensively and defensively, right?
3rd and long. As Crable gets the call. And the snap. Going to hand it off up the middle. Find some space. Good tackle. It's going to be short. And a nice run by Parker Falkenstein. But they're going to be short here by a yard or 2. So there's going to be forcing a punt. And out the point is Charlie Durkin. We saw him kick a couple field goals, but we didn't see him punt. So this will be his first opportunity. And Tom, back for St. Francis will be Malik Williams, the junior, 5'11", 190. He's going to be around the 25.
On that play, Kamal Clark actually comes up big to make that tackle, so that isn't a first down, so they could get into this punting.
Durkin almost gets it blocked. It's going to bounce around the 40, and St. Francis almost got it as Durkin kind of lost control of the ball.
It almost looked like they thought that we already got kicked, right? I think they were shocked he still had the ball in his hands out there.
Well, St. Francis almost comes up with a big special teams play, but the Knights here get a little lucky as their first possession goes 3-and-out. They're forced to punt and almost get away with a special teams mistake. So St. Francis will get their second possession. Talk about that first possession, Tom. What did you see from St. Francis? A couple of good runs, right?
Absolutely. You saw good runs, and it looked like good runs to the outside to the right, also right up the gut, right? Mm-hmm. It seemed to be when you tried to go along that line of scrimmage and you had to have your offensive line really hold blocks for a while, that's when they couldn't get the run game going.
1st and 10 from the 40. Second possession of St. Francis. So Tremba back to pass. He throws. Oh, and it's broken up. Good play by Tyson Grimm. And that looked like it was going to Kamal Clark. Or, I'm sorry, no, number 23, I thought it was Logan Rieska again. So Rieska just couldn't hold on with the hit.
2nd and 10.
Great crowd here today at St. Francis. As you can see, they're traveling very well here from Ohio to watch their team.
Trumba hands it off, finding some space, not much, maybe 5. And that is Ricardo Kidd on the carry. So nice pickup on 2nd down. So it's going to bring up a more manageable, about 3rd and 4, Tom.
Yeah, good job. And you actually saw the second effort to get that extra yard right there as the extension on the very end. Does a good job to right now because every yard's got meaning.
So 3rd and 4, a big 3rd down for St. Francis. Here's a throw, and it's incomplete, but a flag. That one was intended for Malik Williams, but it looks like we're going to have a little pass interference here. So there was definitely some contact.
Yeah, and you can see he was calling for it too. Right away, the flag comes in, and it came from behind him, so he didn't see the flag thrown right away, Williams, but he was calling for it.
So pass interference will give St. Francis a 1st down as they'll move the ball up off the penalty. And that's going to be significant here, Tom, as that's going to get the Red Raiders into the Knights' territory inside the 40 off the flag.
So very different, as you know, in the NFL, it's a spot foul, right, where the actual foul took place. In high school, it's a 15-yard penalty is what it is, no matter where you go. So this is the 15-yard penalty, which actually is in favor of St. Francis on this one.
Tremba hands it off. Kidd trying to find some space. He keeps his feet moving, pushing that pile. And going to be wrapped up, and they're going to blow the whistle, but a nice positive gain to the left side of the line for Kidd, who's had
Kidd with the carry.
a lot of carries here. You know, also can run the ball is Jimmy Scott. He's had some good games as well.
You see Jimmy Scott more in that short distance stuff, right? Or that goal line you see. But he will carry the ball, but it definitely is that goal line stuff that you're going to see Jimmy Scott run it.
So 2nd and 7 for St. Francis off the 3-yard gain from Kidd. Tremba Jr. getting the play call from the sideline. 6:50 remaining here in this first quarter. Tremba going to roll right. He's looking, and it's caught and tackled. Nice catch by Kamal Clark near the near sideline.
Kamal Clark with the reception.
Tremor does a great job on a tough snap right there. As you see, he's got to go up and get it and then spin around to be able to come to this side for that pass, and does a great job of actually turning that play into something, into anything positive right there. But you know what I've been most impressed with right now is because St. Francis has been able to run the ball, they're owning right now the time of possession. They're watching that clock, and they're keeping Hoban off the field, which right now is a huge advantage to the St. Francis team.
3-yard pass to Clark, so 3rd and 4. Here's a quick handoff and wrapped up, falling forward. Going to maybe gain a yard, and it's going to bring up a long 4th down here, maybe about a 4th and 2.
And that was Jimmy Scott right there, what we talked about, right? Yep. That short distance, you need that burst right now, that really strong runner. You can just see how built he is.
4th and 2, St. Francis is going for it as they're near the 30-yard line. Trying to fall forward, and that second effort, is he going to get it? They're going to have to measure this. Tremba was.
I think he's got it. Look where the ref. Oh yeah, you're right. I'm trying to figure out where it is right now.
Well, Tremba Jr. thinks he has it, and are they going to measure this? Nope, they didn't get it. That second effort, Tom, I thought it was going to get to him. So the 4th down conversion fails, but it was the right call with where they were on the field.
It's where the ref, though, the ref closest to us, where he was standing, it looked like the spot was going to be a little bit different. It looked like it was going to be over the 30-yard line, and they don't give him the same spot where the outside judge was. So that's why I was looking. It looked like they had it, but it was a different placement from where that ref was standing.
Yeah, it had to be off by inches. So off the 4th down miss, the Knights will come back with Cradle here at the 30-yard line. On 1st and 10. Cradle back to pass. He's getting pressured, and that pass is incomplete, intended for Lamar Spearling. So good job. You know, it was a great rush, though, by Jimmy Scott. He got in there hot.
Yeah. And it was to his backside because you don't know if he was really seeing that he was coming right there. But it looked like the receiver fell right there, and that was where it was intended before for the receiver that fell out there. So you wonder if it was just a
threw off
slip.
the screen game, yeah. So 2nd and 10, second possession here for the Knights. Cradle, back to pass, going to throw right, and it's knocked down. Great job by Nate Henrich getting his hands up, knocking down that pass. 3rd down, another 3rd down and long time for the Knights. St. Francis has done a good job here defensively in these first 2 drives.
Yeah, and but that's what you teach your defensive guys to do, right? When you get in and you see that pass go, arms up, get up in the air, does a great job of getting those arms up and leaping to make that stop.
4 receivers out on the field, and it's 3rd and 10. Cradle, he hands off to Spearling. Spearling's going to find some space, but he gets tripped up well short. And this is going to bring up a long 4th down. Good defense by the defensive line getting that tackle.
So far, fantastic defensive stops here by St. Francis.
They have made the Knights, who can score points, go up 3 and out in both drives. A great start. And the one thing here the Knights didn't do, they didn't flip the field. The ball didn't move. So there's that too. So Durkin's going to be back to punt. And Malik Williams will be back to return. Durkin, another bad snap here, gets this one off. And fair caught inside the 35. So some special teams, you know, they're getting the punts off time, but that was another one that was a little shaky there.
Yeah, you start to wonder at any point, like, is the heavy rush going to come where you're going to go try to block something, knowing that you've seen a couple snaps that have been a little bit awry right there. So it could change on what you look like and how you go after the punter.
And you wonder as this game goes on, if it's close, if St. Francis sees something from that.
Yeah.
So next possession here at the 34. Still 0-0 and a really good game here, even though there's no score. The offensive defensive lines have been great for both teams. So the next possession for the St. Francis Red Raiders is they look to move the ball against the Knights.
So really, you're going to see, I think the key right now for St. Francis is just got to complete some of those routes that are just getting missed right now.
Matremba back to pass in and out of the hands of Kainan Ulenga. So a little high. Some of his passes have been just a little off.
And sometimes when you're really amped up for a game, that happens early inside of a game right there. But you can see those slants right now or that are coming in, those come right now. Those passes become complete. Watch out. That could right now be the difference of St. Francis really moving the ball.
Those passes are there. 2nd and 10. Matremba back to pass. He's getting pressured. Throws it up and incomplete. Looking for maybe a screen. But he was not on the same page with Kidd, and I think it's going to be intentional grounding.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that when you see a flag come in that late, normally that is a sign of intentional grounding right there.
So with the intentional grounding, it will be loss of downs. It's going to bring up 3rd down anyways. But, you know, we've seen both teams try to run a screen game with 2 plays, and it just didn't go the way that they wanted to.
Yep.
So they're going to lose the down, lose some yards, and it's going to bring up a long 3rd down here.
So, and again, I'd expect to see one of those slant plays that we've seen already, or do I just pound the ball, run the ball right here, look to punt because my defense has stepped up big so far? Is that what I'm going to be looking to do? We'll see what they decide. St. Francis here on 3rd down.
Yeah, 3rd and long. The first down marker's at the 44, and we're inside the 20. So simple play here. Kidd's trying to find some space. He does. He gets past the 20, near the 25. But that was more of just a safe play. Let's punt the ball. Let's not force it. We're playing good defense kind of play there.
That's exactly what I said I thought they'd do, right? And you can expect that, especially when your defense is playing so well. So you've got to right now, sometimes a positive play is punting, right? It really is. And I know it sounds like a cliche that we hear out there, but it is. It means it's no chance of a turnover, and then you let your defense do what it's done well.
Back deep at the 50 is Parnell, and there will be a flag on the play. Could this maybe be a motion? Yep. So a false start here. A legal motion, yeah. Legal motion on the Red Raiders on special teams. So that's going to put them back even 5 more yards. And, Tom, that's going to move Parnell for the Knights up to the 45 of the Red Raiders.
Yeah, they're going to get fantastic field position right here.
Nowak just gets it off. It's a short kick, but it's going to take a great bounce inside the 50 around the 48. So St. Francis gets a little lucky here. Kind of with that penalty, they're going to get the ball back where we thought they would.
48.
You saw the same thing happen to St. Francis there, right? The snap a little bit off right there. Does a great job of adjusting to be able to just get it off. It was another second right there. That's a blocked punt on the flip side for Hoban right there.
Yeah, we've come close to a couple of block punts, and it almost feels like we're going to see one today at some point.
I agree with you. I'm getting that feeling we're going to see one too.
I hate to see if that makes a difference, but ultimately, it's part of football. So the ball's at the 48.
And it would go to what I talked about earlier,
Yeah.
special teams being a difference in games, and we could see it happen right here.
So Crable 1st and 10. Going to hand it off to Spearling. Spearling trying to find some space on the left side. He falls forward. Then he gains about 3. And he's wrapped up by the Red Raiders.
And it looked like that was Scott who actually made the stop right there.
Hayden Marling with the tackle.
So you can just see as both teams are running the ball, using the clock right now. Couple passes that have been mixed in there, but doing a good job of running the ball. And you can just see that clock's been moving here very quickly inside the first quarter.
2nd and 7 off the 3-yard run by Spearling. Crable's got Spearling in the backfield. Going to hand it off left side. And wrapped up. Yep. Good tackle here by the Red Raiders defense. Tackled by Hayden Marling. So good job here. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 9 as he lost 2 yards.
51, Hayden Marling.
Well, I'll tell you, this defensive line so far of St. Francis has been doing a great job of getting penetration into that backfield and making it real tough for Hoban to run the ball so far.
I think the longest run that Hoban had was maybe 8 yards, was really is nothing considering how well they've done in the run defense in this game.
And that was on a 4th down play, too,
Yeah.
if you remember.
So 3rd and 9. Crable in shotgun formation. Crable back to pass. Got some time. Got a man open. It's tipped and almost picked off. Good job in the secondary. It looks like it was Marling again. And St. Francis gets a big stop again. They've done a great job on that side of the ball here.
Really have. And I apologize. It was a long 3rd down play. It wasn't a 4th down. It brought 4th down up. I apologize. I missaid that wrong. But right now they have really, St. Francis has come here defensively to play, and they're showing, wow, this defensive line is someone that you've really got to contain.
So Malik Williams will be back around inside the 20. And Durkin's going to be punting from the 35. This one's a clean snap. The punt's on the way. And Williams going to call for it. It's going to bounce, and a favorable bounce for St. Francis. It's going to move more near the 20. So St. Francis will have the ball around the 18 for their next possession. With 2:05 remaining in this first quarter, you're listening to WNY Athletics. Some high school football here for the Red Raiders and the Hoban Knights. Tom Prince, Joe Daniel here. We thank you for joining us today.